There is something happening inside your eyes right now that most people never hear about until the damage is already advanced. And it starts long before the blurry vision, long before the stronger glasses, long before someone sits across from an eye doctor and hears the words cataracts or age-related degeneration. Inside your eyes are tiny proteins that were created before you were even born. Think about that for a second. Before your first breath, before your first step, before your first memory, your body built the proteins inside your eye lens one single time. And then it stopped. Your body never makes them again. Those same proteins have to survive your entire lifetime. Every sunrise, every year, every hour staring into bright light, every blood sugar spike, every night of poor sleep, every wave of inflammation moving through your body, and after 60, those proteins begin to struggle. They bend, they weaken, they stick together. Instead of allowing light to pass cleanly through your lens, they begin scattering that light. That is why headlights suddenly explode at night. That is why menus look blurry in dim restaurants. That is why some mornings your eyes feel cloudy even though your glasses prescription barely changed. Most people think their eyes are simply getting old. But aging is only part of the story, because what really determines how fast your vision declines is whether your eyes still have the nutrients needed to protect those proteins from breaking down. And today, I want to show you 7 foods that research keeps linking to stronger retinal protection, healthier lens function, and better long-term eye support after 60. These are not expensive treatments, not strange supplements, not miracle cures. These are foods sitting in ordinary grocery stores right now. But I need you to stay with me until number 1 because the final food works differently than the others. It helps support one of the most important antioxidant systems inside the eye itself. And almost nobody is talking about it. Before we get to the foods, you need to understand something important about your eyes. Your eye lens has no direct blood supply. None. No fresh oxygen delivery system. No constant repair crew. No emergency replacement process. The lens survives through its own internal chemistry. And one of the compounds that protects it most is called glutathione. In young, healthy eyes, glutathione keeps lens proteins stable and separated. Clear lens, sharp vision, clean focus. But as people age, research shows that glutathione levels begin dropping deep inside the lens, especially in the nucleus, the exact area where cataracts often begin forming. And once protection drops, oxidative stress starts attacking those proteins year after year, quietly, slowly, until one day, people begin noticing halos around lights, difficulty driving at night, faded colors, double vision, or that constant foggy sensation that blinking never fully clears. Now here is the hopeful part. Your diet directly influences many of the antioxidant systems protecting your eyes, which means what you eat matters far more than most people realize. So let's start with number 7, walnuts. Most people think walnuts are simply good for the brain because they look like a brain, but the eye and the brain are deeply connected. Your retina is actually neural tissue, the same type of delicate tissue found in your brain, and both are extremely sensitive to inflammation, especially chronic low-grade inflammation, the kind caused by years of poor diet, insulin resistance, processed foods, and blood sugar swings. Walnuts contain plant omega-3 fatty acids along with polyphenols that help calm inflammatory stress. And inflammation matters because inflamed retinal tissue becomes weaker at handling light, oxygen, and cellular repair. That is when vision fatigue starts showing up. Your eyes tire faster, screens bother you more, reading becomes exhausting. Night vision weakens. Researchers have repeatedly linked higher omega-3 intake to better tear production and reduced dry eye symptoms. And dryness matters more than people think, because a dry eye cannot focus light properly. Many people blame blurry vision entirely on aging, when part of the problem is actually unstable tear film. The easiest way to use walnuts is simple: a small handful daily, preferably earlier in the day with real food instead of sugary snacks. And one more thing, do not coat them in honey or candy glaze. That completely defeats the purpose. Number 6 is pumpkin seeds. And this is where things get interesting. Because pumpkin seeds contain two compounds your eyes are actively trying to collect, lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds concentrate in the macula, the center part of your retina, responsible for reading, driving, recognizing faces, and seeing detail clearly. Your body literally stores these nutrients inside the eye because they help filter damaging blue light and oxidative stress. Think of them like internal sunglasses. Researchers have found that people with higher intake of lutein and zeaxanthin tend to have lower rates of macular degeneration progression. And after 60, that becomes extremely important because macular degeneration is one of the leading causes of vision loss in older adults. Now, here's the mistake most people make. They buy roasted salted pumpkin seeds from a bag and assume they are getting the full benefit. But pumpkin seeds contain compounds called phytates. Phytates bind minerals like zinc and reduce absorption. And zinc matters because your retina depends heavily on it. One simple trick improves absorption dramatically. Soak the seeds overnight in water with a squeeze of lemon. That soaking process helps reduce the phytates and makes the minerals more available. Simple, cheap, and far more effective. Number 5 is blueberries. And honestly, this may be one of the most underrated eye foods in the grocery store, especially for older adults. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins. These are the dark pigments that give berries their deep color. But inside your body, those compounds behave like powerful antioxidants. Research suggests anthocyanins help protect blood vessels and improve circulation. That matters because your retina has one of the highest oxygen demands anywhere in the body, and poor circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching those delicate eye tissues. This is one reason diabetes becomes so dangerous for vision. Tiny blood vessels become damaged, the retina slowly starves. Blueberries may help support those vascular systems while also reducing oxidative stress. And many people notice another effect, less eye fatigue. Especially during reading or screen time, frozen wild blueberries are actually an excellent option. Often better than oversized commercial blueberries. And here is an important detail most people miss. Do not drown them in sugary yogurt. High sugar intake accelerates glycation. And glycation is one of the major processes damaging lens proteins as we age. Those proteins become stiff and cloudy faster. So if you use blueberries, keep them simple. Number 4 is chia seeds. And I need to warn you about something here because millions of people are wasting their money on chia seeds. Your body cannot properly access much of the nutrition if the seeds remain whole. Many pass through the digestive system largely intact, which means you are swallowing the package, not absorbing the contents. Chia seeds are loaded with omega-3 precursors that help support retinal structure and tear stability. Remember, your retina is built from fatty acids. Healthy cell membranes matter enormously for vision. When those membranes weaken, the retina becomes more vulnerable to inflammation and oxidative stress. Research has shown omega-3 intake can improve tear stability and reduce dry eye symptoms. And dry eye is not a small issue. It causes blurry vision, burning, redness, eye strain, and fluctuating focus, especially later in the day. But here's the key. Grind the chia seeds fresh, right before using them, and pair them with healthy fats. Avocado, olive oil, unsweetened coconut milk. Fat helps absorption. And within weeks, many people notice their eyes feel less irritated and less tired. Number 3 is spinach. Now, I know somebody watching this just rolled their eyes because spinach has been called healthy for decades. But most people never understood why it matters specifically for vision. Spinach is one of the richest sources of lutein and zeaxanthin available. Again, those compounds accumulate directly inside the retina. They protect against oxidative stress caused by light exposure. And remember, your eyes are exposed to light constantly, every day, every screen, every sunset, every fluorescent bulb, every car headlight. That oxidative exposure adds up over decades. Spinach also contains nitrates that may help support healthy blood flow, and circulation inside the eye matters enormously. Now, here is something important. Raw spinach is not always best. Light cooking actually improves absorption of some nutrients, especially when paired with fat. This is why traditional Mediterranean diets often cook greens in olive oil. The body absorbs more. One of the simplest eye-supportive meals is sautéed spinach with olive oil and eggs. Simple food, powerful nutrients, and far better than ultra-processed breakfast cereal that spikes blood sugar and accelerates inflammation. Number 2 is salmon. And this is where the science becomes extremely powerful, because salmon contains preformed DHA, not plant omega-3 precursors, actual DHA. DHA is one of the major structural fats inside the retina. Your photoreceptor cells rely on it. Without enough DHA over time, retinal tissue becomes more vulnerable to degeneration. Researchers have consistently linked omega-3 intake to lower dry eye symptoms and better retinal health. And many older adults are chronically low in omega-3s, especially if their diets rely heavily on processed oils and fast food. Now, here is another thing most people never hear. Inflammation and insulin resistance affect the eyes too. The eye is not separate from the body. High blood sugar damages blood vessels. Chronic inflammation weakens tissues. Metabolic dysfunction accelerates retinal damage, which means the same diet harming the heart is often harming the eyes at the same time. Wild salmon a few times per week can be incredibly supportive. Not fried, not coated in sugary sauces. Simple preparation works best. And finally, number 1, egg yolks. Yes, egg yolks. One of the most unfairly criticized foods in nutrition history. Egg yolks contain lutein, zeaxanthin, vitamin A, healthy fats, and highly bioavailable nutrients that directly support the eye. And unlike many plant foods, the nutrients in egg yolks are already packaged with fat for absorption. That matters, because many antioxidants are fat-soluble. Without fat, absorption drops dramatically. But what makes egg yolks especially interesting is how efficiently the body can use those carotenoids. Researchers have repeatedly found that egg yolk consumption can increase lutein levels in the blood and retina, even though spinach technically contains more total lutein. Bioavailability matters. What your body absorbs matters more than what is merely present in the food. And there is another important reason egg yolks matter. They support satiety and stable blood sugar. That means fewer glucose spikes, less glycation damage, less oxidative stress attacking lens proteins over time. Now, I need to say something important here. No food on this list is a magic cure. These foods do not replace your doctor. They do not guarantee prevention, and they do not reverse severe eye disease overnight. But what they do is support the biology your eyes depend on every single day. And after 60, that support matters because vision loss rarely happens suddenly. It happens slowly, quietly, 1 year at a time, and many people ignore the warning signs until the damage becomes difficult to reverse. So here are the biggest mistakes people make if they actually want to protect their eyes. Mistake number 1, too much sugar. This may be the most damaging habit of all. High blood sugar accelerates glycation, and glycation damages lens proteins. Those proteins stiffen, yellow, and clump together faster. That is one reason diabetes is so dangerous for vision. Mistake number 2, smoking. Smoking dramatically increases oxidative stress inside the eye. It damages circulation and accelerates cataract formation. Mistake number 3, ignoring sleep. Your eyes repair during sleep. Poor sleep means poorer recovery and higher inflammation. Mistake number 4, never going outside. Natural daylight helps regulate circadian rhythms and overall metabolic health. And metabolic health influences eye health more than most people realize. Mistake number 5, waiting for symptoms to become severe before taking action. Most eye diseases build quietly for years, sometimes decades. Now, let me tell you something I see often. A patient comes in saying, "Doc, my vision changed so fast." But when we look deeper, The biology had been changing slowly for years. The symptoms only became noticeable recently. That is why prevention matters. And honestly, most people underestimate how much lifestyle affects the eyes, because the eyes are extensions of the brain and nervous system. They depend on circulation, blood sugar control, inflammation control, healthy fats, antioxidants, sleep, nutrition. Everything is connected. And I want you to remember this. Your eyes are not failing because you suddenly turned a certain age. Your eyes are responding to decades of accumulated stress and nutritional status. That means supporting them daily still matters, even now, especially now. So here is a very simple protocol if you want to start helping your eyes immediately. Morning, eggs with spinach cooked in olive oil. Midday, a handful of walnuts or pumpkin seeds. Several times per week, wild salmon. Daily, blueberries, and reduce the things actively damaging your eyes: sugar, processed oils, constant snacking, poor sleep, and smoking. Simple habits repeated consistently matter more than extreme short-term fixes. And if you are over 60 listening to this right now, I want you to hear this carefully. Do not assume blurry vision is automatically hopeless. Do not assume decline means there is nothing left to support. Your body is always responding to the environment you create for it, including your eyes. And many people begin noticing small changes surprisingly quickly. Less dryness, less strain, sharper mornings, better contrast, more comfortable night driving. Not because of magic, because biology responds when you finally give it what it needs. Now, before you leave, I want you to do something. Think about the very first sign your vision started changing. Maybe it was reading menus. Maybe it was driving at night. Maybe it was needing brighter lights at home. Maybe it was realizing your eyes felt tired all the time. Leave it in the comments. I read those stories every single week. And it helps people realize they are not alone, because millions of adults are experiencing the exact same thing right now. But most never understood what was actually happening inside their eyes until today. This is Dr. Sean Dozbo. Take care of your eyes. You only get one pair. And I'll see you in the next video.